Hello my dear students, how are you all? Today we have come up with a new chapter of grammar, that is lesson number 2, singular and plural nouns. So let us start. So what do you mean by singular and plural nouns? Nouns can be singular and plural both. But what do you mean by singular nouns and what do you mean by plural nouns? Let us have a look. Let us have a look at the definition first. So of singular noun. What do you mean by singular noun? It refers to one person, one animal and one thing. Anything which is one is referred to as singular noun. Let us have a look at the examples. Box. Here box is one box. So it is a singular noun. Same way goes with train. Train is also one. So it is singular noun. Same way goes with flower, boy, room. These all are one in number. Anything which is one. Person, animal, thing which is one. So anything which is one means singular. But what do you mean by plural nouns? Plural noun refers to more than one person, animal or thing. More than one means it can be 2, 5, 10, 50, 100, infinite. Anything which is more than one is referred to as plural noun. Now let us have a look at the examples of plural noun. First, boxes. Here box is singular noun, but if I add es at the end of the word, it becomes boxes. So box, boxes. So boxes is a plural noun. Same way goes with trains. I have just added s at the end of the word. So train will become trains in plural noun. Flowers. Here also I have added s at the end of the word. So flower become flowers in plural noun. Same way goes with boys and rooms. But students, do you feel that just by adding s letter at the end of the word makes the word plural? Makes the noun plural? No, we have to add s, es, ies, etc. So today we will learn all the 10 rules on how to change from singular to plural nouns. Now let us have a look at rule number 3. What is rule number 3 telling us? That if a noun ends in y, and there is a consonant before the y, what do? We cut the y and we add ies. What do you mean by it? For example, look at this noun, baby. Baby is ending in y and there is a consonant before a y, b. What do? We cut the y and we add ies. So baby will become babies in plural form. Same way goes with lady. There is y at the end of the word. We will cut the y because there is a consonant before a y. And what will we do? We will add ies. So lady will become ladies in plural form. Now let us have a look at rule number 4. What does it say? It says that if the noun ends in y and there is a vowel before the y, what do? We add s. For example, boy. The noun is ending in y and there is a vowel before the y, o. So what do? We add just s to make it a plural form. So boy will become boys in plural. Same way goes with toy. It is ending in y and there is a vowel before the y. What do? We add only s to make it a plural form. So toy will become toys. So in this rule it was saying that if a noun ends in y and there is a vowel before the y, we do not cut anything. We just add s at the end of the word to make it a plural form. Now let us move to rule number 5. What does it say? It says if a noun ends in f or fe, we add ves. We have to cut the f or fe and we have to add ves. For example, knife. The noun is ending in fe. What do? We will cut the fe and we will say knives. We will add ves, so it will become a plural form. Knife, knives. Same way goes with leaf. The noun is ending in f, so we will cut the f and we will add ves. So here leaf, leaves. The plural form of both the examples is knives and leaves. So this rule is telling us that if the noun is ending in f or fe, we will cut the f or fe and we will add ves to make it a plural. Now let us move to the next rule, that is rule number 6. What does it say? That if the noun is ending in o, we don't have to drop anything but we have to add es. So here the example is plural. Same way goes with tomato, it is ending in O. What do? We will add es to make it a plural form. So tomato will become tomatoes. So this rule is saying that if a noun is ending in O, we don't have to drop anything, but we will add es to make it a plural form. Now let us move to rule number 7. Rule number 7 is different. We don't have to add anything or drop anything. It says some nouns remains unchanged in plural, means they remain unchanged, they don't change. For example, sheep. Sheep will remain sheep itself. It will not change. We don't have to add anything here or we don't have to drop anything here. Sheep will remain sheep in plural only. For same way goes with aircraft. We don't have to add s, is or vs or drop anything. Aircraft will remain aircraft as it is. So what is rule number 7 telling us? That some nouns remain unchanged. Okay students, now let us have a look at exercises of singular and plural nouns. What does this exercise tells us? That change the nouns into plural means the nouns in the sentences are given in singular form. We have to change them in plural form. Now look at the first sentence. That knife is blunt. Here we identify the noun knife, but knife is ending in fe. So what will we do? We will cut the fe and we will add ves. So the plural form of knife will become knives. But what all other changes will become? If the noun is changing from singular to plural, we will do the other necessary changes. For example, that will change into those. His will change into are. So the sentence will become, those knives are blunt. Next sentence, the child took part in the debate. Now here the noun is, singular noun is child. We will change the singular noun into plural. So the noun will become children. Child to children. And the other necessary changes will remain as it is. The children took part in the debate. And the last one, a rabbit has long ears. Here the singular noun is rabbit. We have to change into plural form, so rabbit will become rabbits. Rabbits has been changed into have long ears. So students, whenever we change the nouns from singular to plural, there are also other necessary changes happening in the sentence. My dear students, so now let us move to the next exercise. What does the exercise tells us? That change the nouns into singular. The first exercise we did was change the nouns to plural. So singular nouns was given, we changed into plurals. Now here in the sentences, plural nouns are given, we have to change it into singular. So now let us move to the first sentence. What is the first sentence over here? The mares gave birth to many foals. Now here I can see the plural noun mares and foals. So now let us start. The mare. We will cut the s. Gave birth to. Now many will get cut and we will write a. Foals, we will cut the s and we will say foal. The mare gave birth to a foal. As I told you earlier that there will be other grammatical changes in the sentence. Also when we change from singular to plural or plural to singular. Now let us move to the second sentence. It says the dwarfs were friendly creatures. Now here the plural nouns are dwarfs and creatures. So in both of them we will cut the s. So the sentence will become the dwarf were will change into was a friendly creature. Next, the ponies were tired after the journey uphill. Now here I can see only plural noun is ponies. So we will cut the is and we will add y. So there the sentence will become the pony was will change into was. The pony was tired after the journey uphill. So I hope students you have understood this exercise on how to change from singular to plural and plural to singular. Okay students, so after learning what do you mean by singular and plural nouns, we will study countable and uncountable nouns. So let us have a look at the definition of countable nouns first. What do you mean by countable nouns? Countable nouns are the names of items that can be counted. It refers to the entities to which we can count. They may be singular or plural forms. Countable nouns can be of singular and plural forms both. For example, a bird. 10 birds. We can count 10 birds. Yes. So here we have written 10 birds. 10 birds comes in countable nouns because we can count. Same way goes with a book. 3 book. We can count a book and 3 books. We can count 1 book and 3 books. So that is why it is called countable nouns. Now there are some expressions like a, and, many, some, any, few or a few we can use before these nouns. So what are countable nouns? Countable nouns are entities which we can count, items which we can count, and countable nouns can be singular and plural forms both. Okay students, so after learning countable nouns, let us have a look at the definition of uncountable nouns. Now what do you mean by uncountable nouns? Uncountable nouns are the names of items that cannot be counted. It refers to the entities to which we cannot count. Now let us have a look at some examples of uncountable nouns. For example, juice. Can we count juice? No, we cannot count juice. Same way goes with sky, music, information. We cannot count any of these examples. Hence, they are called uncountable nouns. Like countable nouns, they have plural and singular form both. But the uncountable nouns, they only have singular form. For example, juice. Can we say juices? No, we cannot say juices. It is only indicated in singular form. Same way goes with sky. Can we say skies, musics, informations? No. Uncountable nouns are always used in singular form only. What all other expressions can be used in uncountable noun? We use much, little, a lot of, plenty of to indicate the quantity of uncountable nouns. For example, much. I don't like too much sugar in my cup of tea. Or I can say little. There is little work left. I can say a lot of water is there in the bucket. So I can use these expressions to indicate the quantity of uncountable. Okay my dear students, now let us move to the next exercise. This exercise is of countable and uncountable nouns. As I already explained, what do you mean by countable nouns? The entities or the items to which we can count are called countable nouns, and the entities or items to which we cannot count are called uncountable nouns. So now let us have a look at the exercise. The exercise tells us that underline the countable nouns and circle the uncountable nouns. Here the first sentence is, most children love ice cream. So what do we have to do? We have to underline the countable nouns. So what is the countable noun in this sentence? Yes, children. So children we will underline, and we have to circle the uncountable nouns. So in this sentence I feel that ice cream is uncountable noun. So we will circle the uncountable nouns. Look at the second one. The teacher carried 2 books with her. Now in the sentence, if I see there is a countable noun, yes, teacher, there is only one teacher, so we will underline teacher. Countable noun, carried 2 books with her. Books, we can count 2 books, so here books is also countable noun. So we have underlined teacher and books. Third one, Shalini's hair is very long. Here, what do you feel? What is the countable noun or uncountable noun? I can only see one noun which is uncountable, that is hair. Can we count our hair? No. So hair is uncountable. So now let us look at the fourth one. It says, Alicia likes to eat biscuits with milk. Here I can see 2 nouns, countable and uncountable. So here biscuits, we can count the number of biscuits. So biscuits is countable noun, and milk. Can we count milk? No. So milk is an uncountable noun. Next is, I have some apples in my bag. Here I can see only one countable noun, that is apples. We can count the number of apples. So, apples we will underline. And the last one is the monkey ate 5 bananas. Here I can see only countable nouns. So, what is the countable noun? The monkey. One monkey. So, monkey is countable. Ate 5 bananas. 5 bananas we can count. So, bananas is also a countable nouns. So, all those items to which we can count by our numbers or fingers, we can say it is a countable noun, and all those items to which we cannot count are called uncountable nouns. Okay students, so now let us have a look at the next exercise. This exercise tells us that underline the correct words from those given in the brackets. Now here in the brackets, as you can see, only the expressions are used. So where are these expressions used? Let us have a look. Look at the first one. Add a little many salt to the dish. Now by looking at the noun first, here salt is uncountable noun. So for uncountable noun, what expression can we use? We can use a little. So we will underline a little. Add a little salt to the dish. We use expression many for countable nouns. Look at the second one. The carpenter does not earn much money or enough money. Now as you know that money is uncountable nouns. For uncountable nouns we use much. The carpenter does not earn much money, and enough is used for countable nouns. Look at the third one. Do you have any or many information about the missing boy? Here information is uncountable nouns. So for uncountable nouns we will use expression any. Do you have any information about the missing boy? Because many we use for countable nouns. Look at the third one. The child had some or few milk before he went to sleep. Now here milk is also the uncountable noun. For uncountable noun we will use expression some. The child had some milk before he went to sleep. Here few we use for countable nouns. And the last one, Jalan. Jalan had enough or few money to buy a new suit. As you know, money is uncountable. For uncountable noun we can use enough, because few we use for countable nouns. So these all expressions are used in countable and uncountable nouns. Okay students, so now let us move to the next exercise. This exercise tells us that rewrite the following sentences correctly. Means here either the expression is incorrect or the singular or plural nouns we have to change. For example, look at the first one. There is too many sugar in my cup of tea. So first I have to find out the noun. So here sugar is an uncountable noun. So before sugar there is the expression many. So is the many correct? No. For sugar we have to use much expression. So here the sentence becomes, there is too much sugar in my cup of tea. Next one. There is few rice left in the plate. Again, if I go to find the noun, here rice is the uncountable noun. For uncountable noun, do we use expression few? No, we use some. So the sentence will become, there is some rice left in the plate. Look at the third one. The professor has a lot of knowledges. Now here what is incorrect? Here noun is correct. So what is the incorrect? Knowledges. Here S is given. So this sentence is of singular and plural. So here knowledges will become singular. So the sentence will become, the professor has a lot of knowledge. Look at the last one. There are lots of dust in this room. Again this sentence is of singular and plural noun. Here I can see lots and dust both in plural. So what will we do? We will cut S and S. So here the sentence will become, there Now here if we do this words in singular, there will be the grammatical changes. So here we will use is instead of are. There is a lot of dust in this room. So always remember students, whenever we change the sentence of singular and plural, look for the other necessary changes also. So students, I hope you have understood this chapter of singular and plural nouns and countable and uncountable nouns. Let us revise again. What do you mean by singular noun? Anything which refers to one is called singular noun, and anything which refers to more than one, that can be 2, 5, 10, infinite, is called plural nouns. Same way goes with countable nouns. What do you mean by countable nouns? Entities or items that we can count to is called countable nouns, and the entities or items that we cannot count is called as uncountable nouns. In this lesson we have learnt different types of expression also, that what can be used in countable and what can be used in uncountable. So I hope students you have enjoyed my session. We will meet in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye bye.